The sirens stopped wailing, and 20 onlookers watched as Keanu Reeves was at Viper Room when the paramedic told him that movie stars can't save real lives during a devastating emergency that would challenge his understanding of celebrity limitations versus authentic medical crisis intervention. The Viper Room, West Hollywood, October 31, 1993. The legendary nightclub occupies Sunset Strip space where entertainment industry glamour meets harsh reality, where genuine emergency expertise determines life-saving capability more than celebrity status or friendship loyalty that reduces medical crisis to emotional support designed for psychological comfort rather than understanding emergency response as technical discipline requiring years of professional medical training. The club embodies rock culture authenticity. Intimate venue that attracts established musicians and rising stars, dimly lit atmosphere that creates artistic community for creative expression, legendary reputation that draws serious performers rather than casual entertainment serving celebrity networking without addressing genuine artistic collaboration and musical development. Keanu Reeves, 29 years old, adjusts his casual evening attire while processing emergency situation that challenges conventional friendship support through medical frameworks extending beyond emotional comfort toward authentic crisis intervention that life-threatening situations demand from responders whose capability must span technical expertise rather than relying solely on personal concern and emotional connection. The evening begins with Halloween celebration among close friends attending Viper Room performance, artistic community gathering that represents genuine creative relationships rather than industry networking, musical environment that prioritizes authentic expression over commercial success serving entertainment purposes without addressing serious artistic development and creative integrity. River Phoenix, 23 years old, accompanies his girlfriend and brother to venue that represents artistic authenticity and creative community, his attendance reflecting genuine musical interest rather than celebrity appearance, his presence demonstrating commitment to artistic culture that transcends commercial entertainment toward authentic creative expression and musical collaboration. This venue represents authentic artistic community, Keanu observes while entering club with close friends, noting the creative atmosphere that balances musical excellence with genuine artistic relationships extending beyond entertainment industry toward cultural authenticity that few venues maintain through sustained artistic integrity. Different kind of artistic environment than commercial clubs, River agrees, recognizing the parallel between authentic creative culture and entertainment industry networking that prioritizes business connections over artistic truth requiring sustained commitment to musical understanding and creative development that most commercial venues never address comprehensively. Their evening begins with appreciation for music culture that operates independently of entertainment industry commercialization, seeking authentic artistic experience that serves creative development rather than maintaining celebrity image through appropriate appearances that generate media coverage without advancing artistic understanding or creative knowledge. The Viper Room attracts established artists whose musical commitment reflects deep engagement with creative expression rather than commercial promotion based on industry requirements. Musicians who understand artistic demands while recognizing creative discipline that serves both musical excellence and cultural recognition requiring sustained artistic development. The venue environment includes professional musicians whose expertise enables authentic artistic collaboration, music industry figures whose knowledge spans creative and commercial aspects, artistic community members whose understanding of creative culture provides foundation for musical development that transcends surface capability toward authentic artistic consciousness. Most celebrities who attend music venues want networking opportunities and photo moments rather than genuine artistic engagement, explains club security coordinator, whose own music background encompasses years of venue management and artist protection. They approach artistic spaces through celebrity positioning rather than recognizing creative requirements that define authentic musical culture and artistic community. As evening progresses, both friends demonstrate respectful engagement with artistic community and creative complexity, recognizing musical authenticity that extends beyond their current knowledge while avoiding celebrity approaches that treat music venues like entertainment networking rather than understanding artistic spaces as cultural practice requiring sustained creative commitment. The club's reputation attracts legitimate artistic community members whose creative authority creates evaluation standards for distinguishing genuine cultural engagement from celebrity appropriation that treats musical venues like networking opportunities rather than understanding artistic spaces as cultural discipline requiring sustained creative participation and musical respect. Outside the venue, the situation deteriorates rapidly as medical emergency develops beyond anyone's control or intervention capability, the crisis revealing fundamental limitations of friendship support versus professional medical response that emergency situations demand from trained personnel rather than concerned observers. Professional paramedic Sarah Martinez arrives with advanced life support equipment and decades of emergency medical experience, her training encompassing crisis intervention protocols that most civilian observers never encounter despite genuine concern and emotional commitment to affected individuals requiring immediate professional medical care. Martinez represents authentic emergency authority, medical expertise earned through years of emergency response training and crisis intervention, life-saving knowledge developed through studying complex medical emergencies, professional integrity that prioritizes authentic medical response over emotional accommodation that might compromise emergency protocols for personal comfort. She observes the scene with practiced assessment earned through distinguishing genuine medical emergencies from situations requiring different intervention approaches, recognizing crisis patterns that reveal emergency severity and appropriate response protocols suited for immediate life-threatening situations requiring professional medical intervention. The emergency framework requires understanding medical crisis as professional discipline rather than emotional response, life-saving intervention as technical expertise rather than concerned support, emergency response as medical protocol rather than friendship loyalty, crisis management as professional competency rather than personal commitment, concepts that challenge civilian emergency response approaches. As crisis intensifies, concerned friends demonstrate growing desperation while revealing response limitations that emphasize emotional support and personal concern rather than engaging medical frameworks that inform emergency intervention through professional consciousness requiring sustained technical commitment beyond friendship capability. Their attempts focus on providing comfort and expressing concern rather than understanding medical content through professional intervention, approaching life-threatening emergency through emotional support rather than technical response that requires understanding crisis management as medical conversation between trained personnel and emergency protocol rather than friendship demonstration. 6 seconds pass as Martinez evaluates the emergency situation and civilian response limitations in accessing professional intervention that medical crisis requires from responders whose technical authenticity must support life-saving communication rather than reducing emergency response to emotional support serving personal comfort. Movie stars can't save real lives, Martinez declares with devastating precision earned through distinguishing authentic medical intervention from emotional response that treats life-threatening emergencies like friendship support rather than recognizing professional work requiring sustained technical commitment and medical consciousness beyond personal capability. Her assessment exposes fundamental requirement that prioritizes technical authenticity over emotional commitment for emergency intervention that serves as medical communication rather than friendship demonstration, recognizing crisis expectations for professional credibility that requires responder whose medical understanding supports life-saving preservation rather than emotional accommodation. The declaration carries particular significance because emergency response represents medical breakthrough that demands responder whose technical engagement supports professional culture rather than reducing medical complexity to emotional application that might compromise life-saving vision for personal accommodation or friendship effectiveness. Emergency witnesses respond with understanding of medical factors that influence crisis intervention beyond emotional considerations, recognizing authentic life-saving success that depends on responder capability whose technical authenticity supports professional expression that emotional preparation might not provide without corresponding medical engagement. Keanu's face shows recognition of evaluation criteria that prioritizes technical intervention over emotional commitment, his friendship concern conflicting with emergency requirements that medical discipline demands from responders rather than accepting emotional interpretation as substitute for technical understanding and professional training. But before Keanu can respond with arguments about his concern intensity or defend his response through friendship dedication and emotional commitment, he demonstrates understanding that acknowledges medical requirements while respecting emergency expertise requiring professional engagement rather than emotional performance. "You're absolutely right," Keanu says quietly, his voice carrying genuine recognition of medical authority rather than defensive friendship pride. "We can't help him the way he needs. Please do everything you can with your professional training." Martinez appreciates Keanu's immediate understanding of medical demands and willingness to accept emergency requirements rather than interfering with professional intervention that might serve crisis management despite genuine emotional commitment and friendship concern through established personal relationships. The emergency continues with professional medical protocols while friends provide appropriate emotional support that honors technical requirements, demonstrating collaborative crisis response that balances medical authenticity with personal capability rather than compromising professional standards or abandoning emotional integrity for technical accommodation. The tragedy unfolds despite professional medical intervention, demonstrating the harsh reality that some emergencies exceed even expert medical capabilities, that friendship concern and professional response cannot overcome certain medical crises regardless of technical expertise or emotional commitment to affected individuals. Years later, Keanu speaks about that devastating night as educational about emergency limitations, professional respect, and personal helplessness that serves understanding crisis intervention rather than accommodating emotional approaches despite sincere friendship commitment and continued remembrance beyond personal loss. Emergency professionals occasionally reference that crisis as example of how medical emergencies require technical intervention when civilians choose professional respect over emotional assumption and crisis recognition over response that treats emergency situations like friendship challenges rather than understanding medical crisis as professional discipline requiring sustained technical commitment. 6 seconds outside Viper Room in 1993. One moment when emotional concern met medical requirements before professional understanding enabled appropriate crisis respect. One choice that honored technical wisdom rather than emotional accommodation and proved that authentic emergency response requires professional consciousness and medical commitment rather than friendship concern alone. The crisis that showed genuine medical emergencies demand professional authenticity and technical intervention that can't be provided through emotional concern or friendship support alone, because authentic emergency response depends on medical understanding and technical consciousness that personal relationships don't automatically provide despite emotional commitment designed for friendship effectiveness rather than professional development and life-saving capability.